Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. We will start our fourth lecture of relativity and cosmology. Course code is PHYS 4115. Instructor name is Dr. Sayyid Avasrov. We will start our chapter number 2. Chapter number 2 is about the elements of tensor calculus. We will discuss mathematics involved in the relativity. First, we start with the vectors. A vector is a quantity that has both magnitude and direction. Graphically, a vector is drawn as a directed line segment with an arrowhead. हमें पता है कि कोई भी फिजिकल क्वांटिटी जिसकी डायरेक्शन और मैग्नीट्यूड हो उसे हम वेक्टर कहते हैं और इसको रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए हम एक एरोहेड बनाते हैं। डायरेक्टेड लाइन एक डायरेक्टेड लाइन होती है हमारे पास जिसके सेगमेंट पे एक एरो हेड होता है। द लेंथ ऑफ द एरो इज अ ग्राफिक रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ इट्स मैग्नीट्यूड। Here we have drawn a vector in the diagram. We take some vector v in xy plane. Next are the components of a vector. In the plane or in ordinary three-dimensional space, the components of a vector are the projections of the vector onto the coordinate axis. A vector in the xy plane and its projections onto the x and y axis are shown in the diagram. If we have some vector w, then the projections on x and y plane or axis on x and y axis will be wx, the projection on x axis, and wy, the projection of vector w on y axis. Further, in Cartesian space, the vector a can be written as a is equal to ax I hat plus ay j hat plus az k hat. We also use another notation to represent a vector where we can write a is equal to ax x hat plus ay y hat plus az z hat. Using this notation has some advantages. It clearly indicates which basis vector points along which direction. सेकेंड नोटेशन को यूज़ करने का फ़ायदा हमें ये है कि हमें पता चल जाता है कि वेक्टर जो है वो किस डायरेक्शन में है। फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल हमने ए एक्स एक्स हैड लिखा है तो हमें यहाँ से पता चल जाता है कि जो पहला वेक्टर है, जो पहला कंपोनेंट है वेक्टर का वो क्या है, अलोंग दी एक्स एक्सिस है, सेकंड कंपोनेंट अलोंग वाई एक्सिस है और थर्ड कंपोनेंट अलोंग जी एक्सिस है। Also, it provides a nice notation that allows us to define a vector in a different coordinate system. इस नोटेशन को यूज़ करते हुए हम वेक्टर को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं अदर देन कार्टेशियन स्पेस एज वेल. So we write component of vector in spherical coordinates. Let's take again a vector A. A will be or can be written as A is equal to AR, R hat plus A theta, theta hat plus A phi, phi hat. Before going further, one thing to remember here that components of a vector are numbers They can be arranged as a list. For example, in 3 dimensions, the components of a vector A can be written as A is equal to AX, AY, AZ. More often, one can see a vector written as an expansion in terms of a set of basis vectors. A basis vector has unit length and points along the direction of a coordinate axis. Elementary physics books typically denote the basis for Cartesian coordinates by I hat, j hat, and k hat. And so, in ordinary 3 dimensional Cartesian space, we wrote the vector as shown in first equation here, and the more advanced textbooks use a different notation as represented here by second equation. So in spherical coordinates, the vector A can be written as AR r hat plus A theta theta hat plus A phi phi hat. We can similarly write the spherical coordinates to the Cartesian coordinates. There are two important things to note here. The first is that the vector A is a geometric object that exists independent of coordinate system. वेक्टर ए जो है एक ज्योमेट्रिक ऑब्जेक्ट है जो कि जिसे एग्जिस्ट करने के लिए कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम की ज़रूरत नहीं है. वेक्टर ए के कंपोनेंट्स को लिखने के लिए या हासिल करने के लिए हम कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम सेलेक्ट करेंगे कोई, एंड देन वी यूज़ इट टू रिप्रेजेंट द वेक्टर. Secondly, the numbers that represent the vector in a given coordinate system, the components of the vector are in general different depending on what coordinate system we use to represent the vector. So for example, we have been using AX, AY, AZ not equal to AR, A theta, A phi. We will see in next lectures why they are not equal or why we are not using them equal. Next, our topic is new notations. We are now going to use a different notation that will turn out to be a bit more convenient for calculation. रिलेटिविटी में बहुत सारा मैथमेटिक्स इन्वॉल्व है, तो इसलिए हम इस तरह की नोटेशन यूज़ करेंगे जो कि कैलकुलेशन को करने में आसान हो. First, we will identify the coordinates by a set of labeled indices. The letter X is going to be used to represent all coordinates, but we will write it with the superscript to indicate which particular coordinate we are referring to. यहाँ पे कोई भी लेटर एक्स ले लें फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल कोऑर्डिनेट्स को रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए, लेकिन कोऑर्डिनेट कौन से हैं से इंडिकेट करने के लिए हम सुपरस्क्रिप्ट यूज़ करेंगे. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल we will write y as x square or x to power 2, where it is important to recognize that The 2 used here is just a label and is not an exponent. We write it as x2, y as x2. In other words, we can say that y2 will be equal to x2, then again power 2. Here 2 is just a label, and so on. For the entire set of Cartesian coordinates, we make the following identifications or representations. तमाम कार्टेशियन कोऑर्डिनेट्स को रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए हमें फिर कैसे लिखना पड़ेगा? एक्स वाई जी टू, सिंपल एक्स वाई जी लिखने के बजाय हम न्यू नोटेशन यूज़ करेंगे जिसमें हम लेबल लगाएंगे एज ए सुपरस्क्रिप्ट x1, x2, x3। यहाँ पे जब हम x1 लिखेंगे तो उसका मतलब होगा x कोऑर्डिनेट, जब x2 लिखेंगे उसका मतलब होगा y कोऑर्डिनेट, और जब x3 लिखेंगे तो इसका मतलब होगा z कोऑर्डिनेट, एंड सो फोर्थ। This identification is entirely general and we can use it to represent another coordinate system such as cylindrical coordinates. When using more than one coordinate system, or more importantly when considering transformations between coordinate systems, we need a way to apply this representation to two different sets of coordinates. If there are more than one coordinate systems, then we need to use different representations to define the both coordinate systems. For that, one way is to do by putting primes on the indices. For example, if let's consider a Cartesian and spherical coordinates. To understand this problem, if we label Cartesian coordinates with xyz to x1, x2, x3, we add primes to the labels used for spherical coordinates and write it as r theta phi to as x1 prime, x2 prime, x3 prime. The components of a vector in the same way with a race index. Here x1 belongs in Cartesian coordinate, x1 is x coordinate, x2 is y coordinate, x3 is z coordinate. And in case of spherical coordinates, we have x1 prime as r coordinate, x2 prime is theta, and x3 prime is phi. In our last example here, where we consider two Cartesian coordinates, where we considered the two coordinate system, one the Cartesian coordinate and the other spherical coordinate. The components of a vector A in Cartesian coordinates would be given by A is equal to A1, A2, A3, while primed coordinates would represent the same vector in spherical coordinate as A is equal to A1 prime, A2 prime, A3 prime. Another useful notation change is to write partial derivatives in a very delicate way, we can write partial f over partial x is equal to partial xf, or using indices we can write it as partial over partial x a2, we can write it as partial a is a here is subscript which represents the derivative. There are two reasons for writing things in this apparently. The first is that relativity involves so much writing, of different equations. Therefore, it is useful to use such notations to simplify or conveniently perform the calculations or solve the problem. Next, we will discuss four vectors, or what notations we are going to use for four vectors in the relativity. In many cases, we are not going to work with specific component of an object like vector, but will rather work with a general component. रिलेटिविटी में बहुत सारे केसेस ऐसे आएंगे जहाँ पे हम स्पेसिफिक कंपोनेंट कंसीडर नहीं करेंगे वेक्टर का, बल्कि हम जनरल कंपोनेंट की फॉर्म में वेक्टर को रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे और जनरली उसे यूज़ करके प्रॉब्लम या केस में यूज़ करेंगे हम. Therefore, we need to represent or denote four vectors also with some notation or shorthand notation, so that calculations can be easily done. The components of object-like vectors are labeled with lowercase Latin letters. For example, the vector A can be written as A, capital A, superscript small a. In relativity, a vector will have space and time components, and we call it a four vector, where one component is of time and the three components are of space. Total we will have four vectors or four components, and we name them as four vector. In that case, the time component of the vector will be labeled by the index 0, and so the components of a four vector, for example v, will be given by v is equal to v0, v1, v2, v3, where v0 is time component, v1 is x component, v2 is y component, and v3 is z component in case of Cartesian coordinate system. Vector addition can be described. वेक्टर एडिशन को हम सिमिलरली इसी तरह हम डिस्क्राइब कर सकते हैं. a प्लस बी इज इक्वल टू a0 प्लस b0, a1 प्लस b1, a2 प्लस b2, a3 प्लस b3. We will add components, same component to each other to get the vector addition. Time component will be added to the time component of two vectors. Similarly, the space components or coordinates will be added to each other. The scalar multiplication can be written as alpha a, which is equal to alpha a0, alpha a1, alpha a2, alpha a3, where alpha will be a number scalar. It is noteworthy that many authors prefer to use the following labeling convention. When all four components, space and time, in an expression are used, Greek letters are used for indices. So if an author write T mu nu gamma, the indices mu nu gamma can range over 0, 1, 2, 3. In this context, Latin indices are reserved for spatial components only, and so in the expression we can represent here as Sij. The indices ij will range over 1, 2, 3. When possible, we will use early letters A, B, C, so on to range over all possible values 0, 1, 2, 3, and use letters from the middle of the alphabet such as ij to range only over the spatial components 1, 2, 3. Next, we will discuss the Einstein summation convention. Einstein summation convention is a way to write sums in a shorthand format. When the same index appears twice in an expression, once raised and once lowered, a sum is implied. For example, summation I is equal to 1 up to 3, ai bi to ai bi will be equal to a1 b1 plus a2 b2 plus a3 b3. And other example is that SATAB is shorthand for the expression summation A is equal to 0 up to 3 SATAB. An index that is summed over is called a dummy index and can be replaced by another label if it is convenient. For example, SATAB can be written as and is equal to SCTCB. We can interchange or replace the dummy variables the dummy indexes. Dummy index can be replaced by another label for the purpose of convenience. The index b in the previous expressions is not involved in the sum operations. Such an index is known as a free index. The index here b is not involved in the sum operations. Therefore, we named it as a free index. A free index will typically appear on both sides of an expression. For example, consider the following equation. A, capital A, small a prime is equal to lambda a prime b, capital A b. In this expression, b is once again a dummy index as it is not involved in the sum operation. The sum implied here means that a small a prime is equal to lambda a prime b, a b is equal to lambda a prime 0 a0 plus lambda a prime 1 a1 plus lambda a prime 2 a2 plus lambda a prime 3 a3. The other index found in this expression A prime is a free index if we elect to change the। हमारे पास यहाँ एक्सप्रेशन में एक इंडेक्स आया है ए प्राइम जो कि फ्री इंडेक्स है, क्योंकि ये समेशन में जो प्रोसेस है उसके अंदर इन्वॉल्व नहीं है। अगर हम फ्री इंडेक्स को चेंज करना चाहें तो फिर हमें फ्री इंडेक्स को इक्वेशन की दोनों साइडों पे चेंज करना पड़ेगा। If we elect to change the free index, it must be changed on both sides of the equation. Therefore, it would be valid to make the change a prime to b prime, provided that we make this change on both sides. अब अगर फ्री इंडेक्स को दोनों साइडों पे चेंज कर दें इक्वेशन के, तो फिर हमारे पास इक्वेशन क्या बन जाएगी, ए बी प्राइम इज इक्वल टू गैमा द लैम्डा b prime b a b। Next we will discuss coordinate bases, tangent vectors and one forms. The basis vectors are represented by notation EA using the Einstein summation convention. A vector v can be written in terms of some bases as v is equal to VA EA. In this context, the notation EA makes sense because we can use it in the summation convention. In a given coordinate system, the basis vectors EA are tangent to the coordinate lines as shown in the diagram. This is the reason why we can write basis vectors as partial derivatives in a particular coordinate direction. In other words, we can take EA is equal to partial A, which is equal to partial over partial XA. This type of basis is called a coordinate basis. A covariant vector has components that covary with a change of basis. That is, the components must be transformed by the same matrix as the change of basis matrix. The components of covectors are said to be covariant if the bases also vary. The basis represented here with the equation EA is equal to partial A is equal to partial over partial XA is called a coordinate basis. This allows us to think of a vector as an operator, one that maps a function into a new function that is related to its derivative. In particular, we can write VF is equal to VA, EA is equal to VA partial AF. A vector V can be represented with covariant components VA. This type of vector is called a one form. If a vector can be represented with covariant components, then this vector is called a one form. Basis one forms have raised indices and are often denoted by omega A. So we can write V tilde is equal to VA omega A. A tilde is used to denote that this is a one form and not an ordinary vector, but it is the same object in a different representation. वन फॉर्म बेसिस को हम रेस्ड इंडिसेस से रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं या डिनोट कर सकते हैं, और अगर हम इसे लिखना चाहें तो फिर लिखेंगे वी टिल्डे इज इक्वल टू वी ए कोवेरिएंट कंपोनेंट है वेक्टर वी का, ओमेगा ए हमारे पास बेसिस वन फॉर्म है। जिसको हम रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं ओमेगा ए से, और v tilde is used to denote that this is a one form and not an ordinary vector. The basis one forms form a dual vector space to ordinary vectors in the sense that one forms constitute a vector space in their own right, and the basis one forms map basis vectors to a number, and that number is represented with a canonical delta function omega a basis one function, the basis one form into multiply by basis EB is equal to canonical delta AB, where delta AB is equal to 1 when A is equal to B and 0 when A not equal to B or otherwise. हमारे पास canonical डेल्टा की दो वैल्यूज़ होती हैं, अगर A और B इक्वल हों तो फिर 1 होगी वैल्यू, और अदरवाइज़ हमारे पास canonical डेल्टा फंक्शन की वैल्यू 0 आएगी. In a coordinate representation, the basis one forms are given by omega a is equal to dxa, and arbitrary one form sigma a maps a vector va to a number where the scalar product given as sigma dot v. Sigma is the one form and v is the vector. So if we take a scalar product, तो हमारे पास वैल्यू आएगी सिग्मा डॉट वी इज इक्वल टू सिग्मा ए वी ए. A tensor, for example PQ, can be defined as a function that takes P1 forms and Q vectors as input and maps them to the real numbers. अगर कोई टेंसर हम डिफ़ाइन करना चाहें तो हम इसे कहेंगे कि ऐसा फंक्शन जो P1 फॉर्म्स ले और Q वेक्टर्स ले एज इनपुट और उनको मैप कर दे रियल नंबर्स पे, तो फिर ऐसे फंक्शन को हम टेंसर का नाम देंगे. We can write a general tensor in the following way. The general form of tensor can be written as T is equal to T ABC superscript lmn. Then we have one forms omega a which maps omega b, omega c. We have one forms omega a, omega b, omega c, and then we have the vectors el, em, so on, en. So we can represent generally tensors by this equation. That's the end of our fourth lecture of relativity and cosmology. Next lecture we will discuss about coordinate transformations.